Hi, I'm Mark Posner from the Cypress College Public Information Office. Welcome to this edition of the At Cypress channel. Okay, I'm joined today by Sarah Clingan. Sarah's our outstanding graduate for 2010. First off, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure an honor you're extremely proud of.
I am. I'm very, very excited.
And
very happy.
I think probably made more impressive by where you've come from to get here. Let me start with that because I think it helps tell a story, and then we'll move to where you are now. But I mean, I think in some ways you probably see this as kind of an unlikely moment. I don't know if that's a...
I see it as a moment I've only dreamed of, type of thing. I mean, my expectations for my life was not very, it was minimal. So the fact that I'm able to achieve at the rate that I do, it's kind of like, when we tell ourselves what we can do, and then actually being able to do it is another thing, and it just, it's kind of surreal.
Yeah. About fifth grade or so, I think you said you gave up on school.
Seventh grade, yeah, pretty much. I did elementary school. I entered into middle school and got into trouble with drugs and things like that. And I actually got kicked out of seventh grade for alcohol, and so I pretty much gave up at that point. I also gave up early on as a result of I'm dyslexic, and so I really couldn't read or spell very well early on, and it didn't make me feel very smart in school, and so it wasn't. I didn't feel good being there because, I didn't excel, I didn't do good, and I was always challenged, so.
Yeah. I want to come back to that in a little bit, but, you said by 18 you're addicted, by 20 you're incarcerated. What, in terms of being formative, did that experience do to bring you here today?
I mean, I think I kind of got to see the other side of the coin, how far down people can go, and I was the person who went far down. I started using drugs at a young age, and, by the time I was 18, I was homeless, living on the streets, a heroin addict, and I really didn't, I didn't really mean to end up there, but I was there. By the time I was 20, I was incarcerated in prison, and, looking back, it's like, wow, how did I end up there? That's not who I am. And that wasn't who I was, but it kind of is where I fell, is because of addiction. You just kind of fall off the path, and you just go with it. And so I work extra hard to make up for the things I've done, because I don't want to be judged for that. And so I work really hard in school, because the only way that I feel like I can not necessarily undo my past, but kind of make up for it, is exceed in education, to excel in that way, and kind of right the wrongs I've done to society.
Fall 2007, you walk onto this campus, I think for the first time.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about what you were feeling as you came to campus, what it represented, just kind of, what it's like to be a student stepping foot onto college.
I was terrified. I remember being very scared. Going through the orientation process, not being familiar with it, have not ever been to high school, and really never took part in a lot of that stuff. I was just very scared, and I just, I did the tests, and took my classes, and just kind of did the next indicated step and worked extra hard. When I got scared, I just worked extra hard.
You said, I think, if I recall right, that you came here because we're nearby. But tell me about that process, how you came to be a student, and kind of what were your first steps.
Well, I found this place, and I had actually heard some really good things about it. I actually worked with a coworker who went here. I think she graduated maybe 15 years ago with an AA, and said just great things about Cypress. And anyone I talked to pretty much said very good things about Cypress. So I just looked online what the steps that needed to be take in order for me to get here, and and part of that was taking the taking the tests, the two tests you have to take to place you in English and math, and so I did that, and then I registered, and then just started taking classes. I was scared, but I just did it. I just found out what I needed to do, and I did it.
Was there anyone along that path that kind of tugged you along and got you here?
Yeah, my parents. My parents have been very supportive. In fact, they've helped me financially, be able to, to do this. They've been very supportive in regards to my education, just being there. If I need a little extra money for books, whatever it takes, they've been able to help me, and they encouraged me to come, and they've been there for me.
I want to go back to the dyslexia a little bit because you talked about that kind of being formative early on, the feeling not being able to read, comprehend, spell. Are there services along the way or tools along the way that have helped you to work with that?
Yes, I know they have a program here that I'm a part of, the student,
DSPS.
Yes, and I partake in that. I haven't utilized all their services because sometimes it's been needed. I mean, I do so well that I feel kind of guilty maybe taking a test in there, but I have a few times. And they offer you, a quiet room to take a test and a little bit extra time. But some of the best things that they basically kind of gave me hints in order they told me that there was this program I could get. That it's kind of like a dictionary, and you type into it, and you can push the button and hear the sounds, of the words. And so I went out and bought that, and it's kind of helped me just with my reading comprehension and my spelling comprehension. And then just being able to work with that through the educational process.
The self-esteem change from being able to have the tools to work with, I would imagine, is huge.
Well, yeah. I mean, I started off here with low self-esteem. I think I just was hoping to pass my classes. And I started getting A's. I started doing really well in class. My teachers, I started getting like 100% on tests, something I didn't even think I could do. And I realized that, that I'm smart. I realized that it was more than just that. I had a reading disability, but I'm older now. I've learned to compensate for that over the years. And, college is a whole lot more than just reading comprehension. I mean, I do read things and I comprehend it, but it's a whole lot more. It's critical thinking. I'm very good at critical thinking. And so, I'm very confident in myself. I mean, ideally, PhD is what I'm going to get, There's no doubt in my mind that that's possible. When I walked into this campus, I did not know if that was possible.
That's probably an excellent point to stop, but I don't want to. I want to ask you about the things you've done on campus. I think I recall debate team.
Yes, I participated in forensics. So we went off campus, went to Long Beach State, and I participated in a speech debate. So it was kind of a speech. I wrote a 10-minute speech, memorized it, and then ultimately, said it to other people who they graded me. And I was very close to getting into the finals for my first attempt. So, and I actually am thinking I want to continue that at Long Beach State. I would like to continue to do public speaking and things like that.
Wonderful. Involvement with the psychology club, I think, Psi Beta.
Yeah, involved with the psychology club, participating in there, going to the meetings. Also, I had spoke there one time. At one point, I shared my story, my history, kind of to newly psych majors, and not all of them were psych majors, but most of them. The Psi Beta. I actually went 2 Saturdays ago and presented a research poster that I've done for a research class I'm in at a Psi Beta conference.
Wonderful. And then involvement in a group off campus.
Yes, I'm a part of a group off campus that what we're trying to do is we're trying to ultimately help people in the county jails locally, and we're trying to give them mentors. So even though there are some religious mentoring programs, we're trying to offer a mentoring program that's non-religious, because there's a lot of people in there who maybe are not religious, who need mentors, maybe who've had similar pasts as them, maybe they've been incarcerated. And so ultimately, we're having people go in there, we just started a few months ago, and mentoring these individuals. So it's fairly new, but we've been doing it for a few years, but it's taken some time for us to get approval to be able to go into the jails, and finally we're doing that. And hopefully it'll grow, and we'll get more volunteers. And we've had a lot of interest in that program, even in other counties, because it's a local county thing. We've mentioned to other people in other counties who want to do that. It's all volunteer. And so we're hoping that it'll do well here, and then other counties can adopt it. And we also want to help them. We help them while they're in jail, and then ultimately want to help them when they get out. If they need treatment, if they need housing, if they need clothes, we want to guide them. We want to try to make sure, because at the county jail you're released at midnight. Oftentimes that's a horrible time to release people, because you got people who are offering them drugs as the moment they get out of jail at 12 at night. Well, if they are willing, the jail said they'll hold them till 7, till their mentor can pick them up and take them to a safe place. So from everywhere from them being in to when they get out, we kind of want to hold their hand and help them so that they can have a better chance of not returning.
Sounds wonderful. We'll see you at graduation coming up here soon. Next step for you is Long Beach. And
Long Beach in the fall.
I want to wish you luck with that and congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.